Balloon intro.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, hello. This is going to be the last match of quarterfinals actually. For mLN3, we have TingMomentum versus GripWarrior. I am Apple here, and I'm going to be accompanied by
Me. Hi, I'm Walmart. We got the Revolutionary War back at it again. TingMomentum versus GripWarrior. Two MWC players who went up against each other. So this is going to be quite a crazy match.
Yeah, Ting last round faced me where I lost, so he's going to be heading up for the better LN player in Team USA, which is Nepogen. So it's going to be interesting to see. I know both of these players are extremely proficient at LNs. They both seed like 8 and seed 5. It's very close seedings, and they seeded definitely in the top 10. I can guarantee that.
We got the drill rap playing in the background. I assume this is Ting's warm-up.
Nice.
Yep, that's Ting.
Oh, everyone's typing in all caps. I guess they both know the song.
That's just Ting.
Oh.
Ting doesn't know the that GripWarrior does not know drill rap.
Oh, well, maybe it's a British only thing since I don't know it really either. But we did have the Stark Man go through. This is our first warm up. So
It
it's gonna be
is
interesting to see.
8.36 stars.
Oh wait, I didn't actually notice that. Why is it so high start? I mean, it's probably a live map by Eliminate 6. Is that Ting or is that Ting's old
That's Ting's old username.
Okay, yeah.
So this is quite an old map pack.
Yeah, this is probably like a year old, right? At this point?
Yeah, when the big Eliminate collab happened. I think even a few people still have their names to eliminate.
Yep. But as I was saying, this is going to be quite an interesting match. I know Ting has been a bit sick as of recently, as he has been saying in the Discord. So hopefully that's not going to be affecting them. But Nepogen trying their best, going to be at full strength basically.
Yeah, this is going. I think these exact two players went up against each other, especially during the long note picks. I know, especially you too, since you, GripWarrior, and Aisha are one of the top USA long note prospects, so you would know more than I do.
Yeah, Nepogen, he's just kind of crazy at everything. He has insane early game act as well as just really having good physical, but I feel like the same could be said for Ting. Ting, especially as of recently, in the past year, I'd say, his LN ability has just been really proving good for him. He played LN really well in soft, like I think he beat Emily in soft on LN map, which is really crazy.
Yes.
So that's something as well as being a really key player for Team UK in the World Cup. So hopefully he's gonna be able to show why he is one of the best LN players in the game, right here.
Yes, exactly. And I believe Ting also, talking about score-wise, got the world's first double S on the long note possession ranked map, I believe. I know that was a big thing when that happened.
Yeah, that map is very, very technical with a lot of really awkward releases. Probably something, a decent amount around this round. Something very similar to the Labyrinth, which is our technical 3, I believe, also being an Abraxos map. So Ting may have a slight advantage on that map if we get to it. Which I've been seeing Labyrinth used in a lot of matches so far this week. I think I've only seen like 1 or 2 matches without it. So gonna be interesting to see. We will be ending this warm up very, very soon. Nepogen or GripWarrior are having a bit of an advantage on these very stupid Vibra sections, if I'm gonna be honest. Both of them are really struggling. But that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, TingMomentum known for the very absurd warm-up maps, not liking to, or actually not, or actually willing to take things very goofy wise when it comes to, especially when it comes to warm-ups. I know there's lots of maps that I believe I've seen Ting map to just turn out to be a lot of funny warm-ups to be used. But that wraps up our first warm-up from TingMomentum, GripWarrior, showing the physicality advantage. So I don't know if that's going to affect, or like kind of give us a hint of the gameplay on what we're going to see, as GripWarrior is not shy to show off their very good physicality.
Yeah, Nepogen or GripWarrior are actually coming out with their warm-up being the timing hell for MWC Grand Finals, number 39. Gonna be really interesting to see. I know Nep played it in MWC against South Korea, but we never actually did see Ting play it. I think he's posted a few scores where he's like 3 missed or something really, really impressive. But
So
really, I want to see the score from Ting.
You could technically call this a rematch when it comes to this chart specifically. As you mentioned, yes, Team USA actually placing 3rd in the entire MWC, unfortunately losing to South Korea, who eventually went on to win the tournament. And this was the grand finals, one of the grand final long note picks, I believe. And I think Ting lost in finals from, I think it was, your team actually eliminated them.
Semis, I believe.
Oh, semis, okay.
So we didn't see Ting's physical abilities to the peak, so it's gonna be. I feel like the maps in quarterfinals right now are definitely gonna be quite a bit harder than semis in MWC.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see.
I'm sure Ting is probably enjoying this right now, because One Crystal maps are no stranger to having lots of messy mini jacks and long no patterns.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the essence of timing hells though, so it definitely makes sense. And this being, I feel like one of the hardest timing hells, maybe like the 2nd hardest in my opinion, so it definitely makes sense.
I've only seen the timing hells that came from MWC, which was the one from 2020 and the one from 2022.
Oh, you haven't seen Nisei Mono yet.
I've seen the one with like the background of like Hatsune Miku just screaming into like a microphone.
I think I got
love. Yeah.
Wait. No, that's with the dance number. That was the 2021 for MWC.
Oh. Yeah, but it was just like the one where Miku just like is just screaming into a microphone.
Yeah, that one's really, really popular, but this one also pretty well known, especially as recently. Obviously because it was used in MWC, but also really difficult map. Something that we're not going to be seeing in the pools that we're playing right now, but we can see Nep just absolutely destroying this map. 99.57. I think he's only had 1 miss at the start, which is kind of unlucky, but it is what it is.
This is going. I really think that seeing how well both of these players, like, we're already far into this tournament. We're already at quarterfinals. They're only semis, finals, and then grand finals. So seeing how well these players are performing physically, I can see, well, this is a winner's bracket match, so both players are still alive in this tournament. I could see maybe both of these players ending up maybe even in the finals or even grand finals.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially,
I feel
yeah.
like finals is gonna be. It's gonna be really really interesting for both these players because one of these players are gonna have to go down to losers, which is absolutely terrifying to think about, since they're both just insane at the game. And if you're
Yes.
gonna be the one facing either one of these in the semifinals, especially where they're gonna be pretty much like getting even better just because they scale really hard going into late game. So it's gonna be terrifying for whoever they have to face.
We already have some frightening players sitting in the losers bracket already, such as Girl Roasted, Schleet Girl, Apple, like lots of these very well-known and very good long no prospects who have been in the community for a while, showing up into the losers bracket, especially during these later games. So you're gonna get an extra slap in the face when you see either TingMomentum or GripWarrior end up falling down to that caliber.
Yes, it'll definitely be a slap on the face immediately, just because everyone in the loser bracket is so super good, and I feel like you could like say that they're the best long no players in the world at this
979.
point. But I think both of these players may be a bit better than the players and losers right now, besides maybe one or two. But yeah, we're gonna be going on to roles as Walmart did say 979 on this map is really impressive. To miss on like a warm up, not really trying that hard. That's crazy.
GripWarrior winning the role almost by double what Ting rolled, which was a 16, as Grip has the opportunity to either pick first or second in bans, protects, and actually picking the maps. I would say it would be kind of hard to predict what these players would protect. I would assume, seeing how GripWarrior did do a Wand Crystal Timing Hell Grand Finals map as their warm-up, I would not be surprised if we see something in like in the density range, like something like Wild Card, probably even like My Effing Desire for You, or any of the density picks coming out for
Yeah.
GripWarrior to protect. And we're gonna see, actually, we're gonna see
Oh.
some coordination.
Coordination, that's actually really interesting. I kind of agree with this, seeing that she did really well in the timing hell. So, in my head, it was either my fucking or my effing desire for you or bug.
Whoa.
Bug, it's basically a mini timing hell, and you saw that she do really well in those. But romance is also a pretty good protect since it's very act heavy in my opinion, and we just get a lot of like really difficult releases that Ting may not do as well on, and it looks like Ting is going to be protecting part 2 or wildcard 2 pick, which is another very release heavy map in the wildcard, which is going to be interesting to see.
As now we're getting into the bands, and we're gonna see Eagle Rock come out, which is for kind of odd to see a coordination pick get protect and banned by the same player. So coordination 2 being protected, and then coordination 3 being banned from GripWarrior.
Yeah, that's a really interesting ban. Maybe GripWarrior was having a bit of troubles just consistently FCing Ego Rock, since I know it's decently long and it's definitely the hardest of the 3 coordination maps. So just wanting to get something that you can basically guarantee a FC on. And Ting gonna be banning Reverence Flower, not opting for that mini jack oriented pick. Very understandable mini jacks. Very volatile in any situation.
You're actually very off. It was actually because of Mania World Cup post-traumatic stress disorder.
I see. The qualifier map.
And now, GripWarrior has the opportunity to pick first, so I won't be surprised if we immediately jump into some stuff. Yeah, and we're gonna see Wildcard. I was about to say either something wacky, like probably My Desire for You, or even Tower of Heaven. But we're going into Intuition. This map is probably like either everyone's most favorite or least favorite chart when it comes to wildcards. This map is no stranger to just throwing bursts and everything above all of the above just thrown at you.
Hold on.
As I was saying earlier, this map, despite just being under 2.5 minutes, that absurd star rating of 5.45, kind of everything kind of just gets thrown at you in this chart. So both of these players are gonna have to look out for most of the stuff that is hidden throughout this map,
Yeah,
because it is a very dangerous place to be.
yeah, this map is definitely crazy. Just starts you off on a bang and doesn't really stop for until I guess the last quarter of the map where it has a slight break, which can definitely trip you up if you don't know it's there because it sounds like the song is gonna end. But we can go into the match now. We see Nepogen having a bit of an accuracy lead, basically just off a ratio, but I think it's so tight it doesn't really matter.
So we're already into the map. Both these players are relatively tied, actually. Ting having the slight lead in accuracy, only being 0.01% ahead. So probably a lead of a margin of roughly by just a singular 300. As this is actually closer than I thought it would be. And now that lead's starting to flicker.
I
As
think King got a few 200s just in that little burst, and that's really giving Nep the advantage here.
yeah,
Definitely,
this solo, like
yeah.
this section right here, I think.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the hardest sections of the map, and Ting getting another 200, not really helping them out, but Nep can definitely have a chance to get a miss or something in the later half, since it's kind of like this for a lot of the next portion.
We are only halfway through the map, and there is still more hell to be broke loose during this 2-minute and 23-second long map. As you just saw, that was actually one of the more harder sections of, like, probably the hardest section was that little guitar solo. But as we progress further, you're gonna see more staggered release and like inverse type stuff, which could really throw a player off if they're not paying attention or they have really bad nerves. But as you see, GripWarrior still holding a steady 99.85, still V1 double S'ing, I believe. Ting still regaining his accuracy a little bit, up to 99.79, almost reaching that 99.8 range. I think even maybe just a couple 200s could balance this lead out and might even swing it over to Ting. But
Yeah.
GripWarrior is, yeah.
Yeah, GripWarrior really needs to focus on their accuracy as much as possible so that because if they get like 1 or 2 200s, they can definitely switch the lead basically immediately. And this last section is going to be coming up. There's not much left, and it looks like Nep will be taking the first pick. And there it is.
GripWarrior only by 1,800 points. That is, like, look at these ratios displayed by
Oh.
both players. They are not far apart. These ratios are like, it's gonna come down to the wire when it comes to ratio, but I'm unsure about the 200 count. TingMomentum getting the higher 200 count, but still performing roughly the same as GripWarrior. As I believe if Ting were to drop less 200s, this would, like, even the lead could have been swung to Ting if he V1 double S'd. But
Yeah.
this could have went in the hundreds.
Ting
And we're
also
gonna
got
see.
all their 200s in like one section, so I feel like if they didn't get as many 200s in that one section, their ratio may have also been just a slight bit better. But we do see Ting actually going for their Protect wildcard too.
Inside blue inside, so already going out for the first pick for Ting was going for their Protect, you said. So another this is pretty much the nerf version of wildcard 1. It's not really that stressful, but it's still easy to find some places to slip up.
Yeah, there are a bunch of like layered mini jacks into a bunch of these releases that we will be seeing, and really it's super easy to either misread or just like aim your fingers, I guess, like accidentally not hitting a note, and that's definitely very possible here. And this map is definitely, as you did say, a nerf version, but I think it's nerf just because it's slower, and I don't feel like that's that big of a nerf, since it being slower kind of makes it a bit more stressful in my opinion, since you kind of got to think more about releasing properly in all these different literal sections.
Yeah, I believe TingMomentum having the advantage against GripWarrior when it comes to LN accuracy and releasing. So, especially with like a release heavy map like this, I believe Ting could potentially pull off maybe winning on their pick. GripWarrior having the slight advantage already reaching the first sliver of the map, but there's still much more to go. As like you said, this map is littered with some mini jacks, but nothing too severe. But still a great place to slip up if you're not paying attention. And we're just reaching a little over a quarter. Those little bursts as well can throw some players off.
Yeah, we see these accuracies stabilizing between both players. There are only 3/10 of or 3/100ths of a percentage difference in these two. So really coming down to this ratio. If GripWarrior gets a few 200s, they can definitely switch it. But as I say that, I
Yeah,
believe
Ting
Ting
might have.
got one or two.
I believe Ting got a couple 200s on probably releasing a bit too late on those long notes, and probably released a bit too late or early on the transition into the break section. But there is still lots of room to make up for, as that lead is still slightly going to GripWarrior's side. I'm sure if GripWarrior trades those 200s back anytime during this map, that score will start to even out. But GripWarrior almost up to that 99.9 range. I believe they're still yeah, they're still FCing, but still V1 double Sing. As we head into the that little section right there could throw lots of players off, but both of these players absolutely destroying that section.
Yeah, Nepogen really is just holding this advantage, not refusing to basically take any 200s in any of these little releases, these mini jacks, while Ting is trying their best just to stay afloat. Really needs to improve their ratio just a slight bit if they want to get into Nep's level here. But really, it's going to be coming down to those 200s. If Nep doesn't get any 200s in this next section, I think they should be able to take it. Or a miss. Either one of those could happen.
Yeah, but as the map slowly starts to find a finish line, GripWarrior is just brute forcing their way through this, keeping their slight lead on their side. Ting trying to catch up, 99.78 to 99.86. But I believe there's no more map left to gain a lead on, unless there's a slider break at the very end, and that's a 3,000 point lead and a V1 double S from GripWarrior.
Ooh, that's a really, really good score. About 100 less 300s as well from Nep and Ting. But GripWarrior going to be opting for Tech 3 Labyrinth. Personally, my favorite pick in the pool. I really love this song, and Abraxas, I think, made a really well-made map of this. So I'm happy to see this.
Yeah, we're gonna see Labyrinth come out from GripWarrior. So probably going into the technical side of things, I know like such as for example that Juan Crystal Timing Hell map used for GripWarrior's warm up. This lots of lots of technicality in those long notes. So something like you know this would be picked by GripWarrior sooner or later. This map just kind of screams GripWarrior, as it is 5.8 stars, so it is very technical. But I believe this is also up Ting's alleyway as well, so it's basically fair game for these players.
Yeah, as you were saying, this map has quite a bit, or Ting has a bit of an advantage in the release accuracy section, and I feel like this is definitely the easiest out of all three of the wild cards, just to get really good accuracy on. So maybe Ting can have a chance to take this, as long as Nep takes either a few 200s or just messes up a lot on the ratio, which I think we've seen a lot of players struggle a lot to get really high ratio on this map, just because the releases in the courses are really, really sporadic and hard to time in general, just perfectly.
Yeah, this map is quite based on release. As you saw right there, those mini jacks, and we get into this very, very hard release section. I believe the right word would be staggered release sections, as these players seem to be nailing it, but those sections you'll be seeing loss, because this is technically the map for the next 2 minutes or so, as we're already reaching that third of the map. That lead is slightly going to GripWarrior with the accuracy advantage. I believe Ting found a few 200s in that section. Into the break section, that lead is slightly getting smaller.
Yeah, GripWarrior having a bit of an advantage, about 1.3%. And that's really nothing when it comes to this map, where you kind of just find 200s really randomly. So definitely quite a bit of a chance for Ting to come back to this. They probably have around the same ratio, judging off of Ting only getting a few 200s. So
Yeah,
definitely possible for Ting.
and it's only by a difference of 1/10%, so Ting could potentially find some groundwork and rebuild on their accuracy and start to catch up with Grip. And here we go into the second section. More of these inverse release sections, this time with some single notes in there, a little more bursty type, a little more, yeah, I guess more bursty type would be the better way to kind of define this section. As we're reaching the final quarter of the map, the lead has slightly increased to GripWarrior's side as we're reaching the final part of the chart. It's gonna probably take a combo break now just for Ting to at least take the lead for a bit. But as we see it, as the map is slowly winding down, final section incoming, and GripWarrior is going to take the third point of this match.
Yeah, unless GripWarrior takes like a miss right here, then it will be that. Ting doing a really, really good score. 989 is very impressive on this map, actually. But
Yeah,
fighting against a 994 is very hard.
994K, and that's only a lead of 5,000. Like, Ting can probably catch up on more of these charts. I think the one thing that was keeping Ting behind was the more physical those releases were. So probably leading to a lot of 200s and 300s. But even then, he minimized his 200 count very well for 200s, but 400, 300. So basically, kind of just like doubling what GripWarrior has. So it is now TingMomentum's pick. So we could see maybe, yeah, I was about to say coordination. So we're gonna see Euron come out. This is the more release based coordination pick. So this is one of the maps that TingMomentum does, and I can guarantee say does have an advantage on.
Ooh, that's good to see. Hopefully, this map has been decently popular from from what I've seen. A lot of players have been really opting to pick this. I've heard that this is the easiest release pick. I don't know if I agree. Maybe it's just because I'm not as good physically. But we there's like a little uh, mini or long jack section that can has tripped me up personally. So I want to see how people really just fare on that.
Yes, lots of people have found comfort in this chart, especially like when I'm also in the booth as well. This map is like probably one of the more popular picks, and already you can see Ting's release accuracy coming in handy, 99.91 to 99.85, but that's a slight sliver of advantage from both players, as it's basically just a game of tug of war, kind of tied basically, you could say. Ting's accuracy still in the 99.9 range, as we're already 1,000 notes in. GripWarrior trying to catch up to that margin as we're getting into more of these like long jack sections, which most players can find easily, like some like a rush of 300s or 200s if they're not, releasing at the right timing, because these are some very short release jacks, but these players are handling it very easily.
Yeah, mistiming any one of those can definitely mess you up, and we see GripWarrior actually taking a bit of an act deficit from there. Ting having the advantage for the first time in this match, and really, as long as they're able to hold, this should be good for them. Maybe it will be very good for their morale. And it's looking like Ting has quite a bit of comfort in this map here.
Yeah, but you can't get too comfortable because GripWarrior is not too far behind. I think that's like a margin of probably even in like the triple digits. And now that lead is starting to flicker. But we get into the main chorus, and this is where the timing comes in. Excuse me there. But this is where the timing comes in. TingMomentum keeping their timing quite under control. But that lead is starting to flicker back and forth now. I think though, yeah, GripWarrior catching up. That is 4/100ths of a percent between these two players.
Yeah, this lead has been shrinking so fast as of recently. And really, any 200s from either of these players can basically cost the match. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they both fare on this last section, which is, in my opinion, one of the hardest just because of how fast it is.
Yeah, I think the last part will show who the definite winner will be of this map. As you get a little break section for our players to calm their nerves and relax as we reach the final quarter. Ting having a slight advantage, like that's a slight sliver of red, as it could change at any point. I think the main thing is Ting's ratio, because they're both at the 99.8 range, so they're both players are most definitely V1 double S'ing. So I think this is the range of just even a rush of 300s or even a 200 could even settle this, and this match would be set in stone.
Yeah, both players have had this act for basically the entirety of the map, and just because Ting has had this consistency, keeping this 99.89, almost 99.9, it's really been helping them out quite a bit.
Yeah, as we approach the final section of the chart, there's not really that much map left, but there is still room for mistakes. But TingMomentum going to take their points, and not by much, just by 900 points. Both, actually, TingMomentum fighting 1-200 and actually winning the ratio battle. GripWarrior finding more 200s and just a slight sliver of 300s more than Ting. And GripWarrior immediately goes for the tech pick of Bug.
Oh, this is something that I feel like is definitely GripWarrior's best pick, just because he's really, really good at these timing hells, just by being able to get really good accuracy on them. So, has a bit of an advantage in my opinion, but Ting definitely no slouch when it comes to any of these.
Yes, indeed. As we are heading into, yeah, this map is quite dangerous. I think this is when it's in the tech side, you know it's going to be extremely technical, and I think this is one of the most technical pick out of the technical category. I have not seen lots of players pick this chart. More rather, it's probably most likely been banned lots.
Yeah, this chart is very, very volatile, as we do see Ting really struggling a bit on this intro. I believe they got a few 200s, which is definitely understandable. It starts off with a bang, so...
And yeah, Ting already almost dropping down to that 98 margin, but as GripWarrior with really good accuracy right off the start, 99.86. As I think Ting found a combo break earlier. I believe that was a combo break right at the very, very beginning of the chart.
Yes, and that's going to be really hurting them throughout this entire map. Just Nep having a slight advantage just on this combo is going to be really bad if Nep doesn't take any misses.
Yeah, but Ting getting a fast recovery from that combo break at the very beginning, 99.5 to 99.8, as it's 0.3% separating these two players, as Bancho being Bancho.
Yep, love Bancho. Bancho truly is the best client in the world, and having 99.89. Oh, that's actually crazy on this map.
I love Laser.
Everyone loves Laser.
And Ting still finding a bit of struggle to come back from this deficit, but still there is still room for air. It's not over yet, as there is still a third of this chart left, and I'm pretty sure there is a diff bump at the at the second chorus. So yeah, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, and
This
if
section.
Nep misses in this next section, Ting actually FCs. I believe Ting should have the slight advantage since their miss was only at the start where they didn't have 400 combos, so
Yeah,
that'd be very, very good for them.
Yeah, here we go into the more release-based section. So, finding lots of room for mistakes is very possible. And especially those mini jacks, this is like the undercover Martian for this map pool. But yeah, that's gonna settle it. I don't think there's much more map to go, as GripWarrior has made a cushion for themselves, and they're gonna keep that cushion till the very end of this chart. And yeah, GripWarrior extending their lead to 4-1. Only 1-200 coming out of GripWarrior.
What is that score? My God, I have not seen a score anywhere near that from just
Hello?
watching all these matches. Oh my God, we just truly see how good GripWarrior is on these timing hells. Actually crazy.
Like, I'm just gonna like fly to the USA right now and just like make sure to confirm that GripWarrior is not a robot.
Yeah, I feel like he's cheating at this point. But it is Ting's pick. Hopefully they're going to be able to take these next few picks. They're down quite a bit, but I feel like we're getting to a point where Nep is getting less and less maps to pick. So it can help Ting in this time. Maybe going for that density range. Even though you banned it, it should be fine since literally no one has played it. So it's probably better to shoot at something.
As Tane's gonna go for Tower of Heaven. I believe that was someone's. I think that was his Protect, or I could be
I think
incorrect.
his
but
Protect was part 2.
Oh, so going for GripWarrior's Protect. I believe actually. Wait, no, he protected
You protected
Whoops.
Coordination 2. Yeah.
So I probably was just talking about this map and how it could be used to be protected, but no idea. My mind just kind of went blank.
Nobody's really touched the density pool besides Ting really banning it, so I really want to see how this works out for Ting. I feel like this is the best choice you have, since you kind of know that you're not going to be winning on any of the other coordination picks, and really technical too, I believe, is just quite a bit easier than Bug, so you may not want to pick that. But this map,
Yes.
in my opinion, a bit easier than all the other density maps, so Ting can have an advantage. We did see them do quite well on the Coordination 1 map, so I believe.
And here we go. Getting into the 5th map of this pool, Ting already having quite a lead, 99.97 to 99.94. So both players in that 99.9 range still, which is very impressive.
But we truly haven't gotten into the map yet. None of the streams have started, but they will be very, very soon, and we'll be seeing the difference really be shown there. And here we go, Ting starting it off with a bit of a lead, but these acts are basically tied. Oh my God, and Nep has a slight lead, but it's very, very minor. This is actually so close right now.
Yeah, you said it best. This is actually extremely close, but GripWarrior is having the accuracy lead right now, 99.89 to 99.92. This is 0.03% being separated from each other.
I think it's just that Ting got a flurry of 300s at the start of these releases. So Nep has just had this minor ACK advantage, which is really helping them out. But Ting, I think, did Nep get a 200? I believe so. No, wait, what? Ting missed!
Oh! Ting finding a combo break, and that is going to really affect what has been happening, like
That
going
was
back and forth.
that was at the end of the density section. That is so unlucky for Ting. This next section is going to be very brutal if Ting wants to win. Grip just needs to hold combo as much as they can. Basically, just focusing on being able to hold their combo.
Yeah, you said it best. As here we go into the final section. Ting is gonna have to find more than one combo break at this point. This lead is insane, as GripWarrior is still probably in that V1 double S range, 99.89 to 99.74. That was relatively a clean miss from TingMomentum, but it was very late into the map, so they can't really gain their accuracy here. It's gonna have to be a do or die situation for GripWarrior, and GripWarrior is not going to allow any form of combo break get in their way, as they are going to take the match points and make it 5-1.
You really want to see what those ratios and accuracies were, since I feel like Ting could have won that without the miss. Their accuracies were basically tied for most of it.
Yeah, I feel like it too.
Oh, that would have been close.
That would have, yeah. But if Ting with the V1 double S, if he did not drop those 3 combo breaks, I believe Ting would have might have like made it just barely. It would have been something. That's
It
all
would
I'm
have
gonna
been
say.
very close. I think, yeah, Ting still probably would have lost just because of the ratio from the Grip Warrior being just so insane. But Grip Warrior, last or match point, your pick, you kind of just go your protect. Yep, there it is, romance.
Yeah, if you wanna settle it now, or if you wanna, just win the match, you might as well settle it here with your protect.
Yep,
As
play Lotto map. Very,
we get
very.
to jam to some Yoasobi, I believe is how you pronounce it, or
Yes.
Yoasobi. We get to jam to Yoasobi, and honestly, probably one of the best artists to float when it comes to J-pop. So
I like how the diff name is Love Letter when that's a Yasobi song.
yeah,
That's my favorite part of this song.
I'm surprised something like Kai Batsu didn't have a diff name called Wolf.
Alright, and just starting it off, these acts are basically tied, but really we haven't seen anything too interesting so far. We get to see really tight releases in these chorus sections, so gonna be interesting to see. This map is basically the same length as all the other ones, so probably the same amount of volatility from all the other maps that we have been seeing. The accuracy lead is very minor in favor of Grip Warrior, but Ting got a few 200s, so that really just extends the lead by a slight amount.
Yeah, not even at the big part of the map yet, but the build-up leading into the chorus is what's going to set a pretty demanding lead to either player. Ting with a 99.76, with GripWarrior with a 99.84, so kind of 0.08% here, separating these two players as we get into the more mini jacks. Oh, Ting finds a slider break. Still pretty early in the map though, as we're only in a third, but still, that was a relatively clean slider break, so their accuracy hasn't really been damaged much, but that's
Yeah,
still a lot.
I think Ting accidentally clicked too early on that slider, which screwed him up a bit. And it's really just because these gaps are so tight, it's really hard to time everything. But Grip Warrior keeping their 99.8 just throughout this entire map is super impressive.
Yeah, very impressive indeed. And now Ting is going to have to hope for even maybe just a slider break from GripWarrior could do something, or even just like a very sloppy miss to just even up the accuracy down with TingMomentum. But as we see it, I don't think it's going to happen. But we have still 1/4 left of the map, and we're getting into one of the more final dense sections of this coordination pick. Ting's not finding really much more errors, but the damage has already been done as GripWarrior finding no problems at all with this chart, as they're going to probably take this all the as soon as I said that, GripWarrior drops this. Okay, wait, pause. This could be never mind.
I think there's not enough time, and either way, GripWarrior just has the AC advantage throughout this entirety. I think Nep would have needed a really dirty miss if the team wanted to win. But with that being said,
unfortunately, advancing, or actually de-advancing to the losers bracket semifinals, as GripWarrior advances to the semifinals, and if I recall, they will go up against Demifiend, I think, actually.
yes, and that's going to be an interesting match to see. I believe it is Demifiend.
Yeah.
Can we pull up the...
And I think TingMomentum will head down to the... Yeah, it's going to be GripWarrior versus Demifiend.
That
and
is
TingMomentum in the losers bracket going to go up against Apple. That's going to be something.
Those are two very insane matches.
Two veteran long note players going up against each other. Apple, probably one of the best long note players in Malaysia, besides Chiwi. Chiwi and Apple basically roughly being around, but Apple, I think, has been in more 4-key long note spotlight, and so is TingMomentum, so that is going to be something. I'm honestly thrilled for the semifinals. Like, Schleet Girl versus Girl Roasted is going to be something. And with that being said, that wraps up our quarterfinals weekend, as we just take a scroll over our matches for next weekend. Demifiend versus GripWarrior, Mika Wanebot versus Silhouesca Els. That's going to be interesting. And then heading on to our losers bracket, we already mentioned TingMomentum versus Apple, but Mr. Moo versus Gaisel, Anta Bakasi versus Paven, and then Schleet Girl versus Grill Roasted. So
yeah, these loser brackets are basically like full heavyweight matches, and that's crazy that it's semis and we're having heavyweight matches and losers. And like these players are going to be eliminated next week. That's
I believe almost every single player in the losers bracket at least played in MWC. I know Mr. Moo played in 7-key MWC, but not 4-key, so that doesn't really count.
I believe they have. So really, we're seeing literally the best LN players of the game in this current era, basically all coming together just to fight, and it's gonna be super interesting to watch.
It is limited down to 8 players now.
Yep.
We went from having 64 all the way down to 8.
With that being said, though,
yeah,
Showcase will be soon. We haven't been informed when, but it will be very soon, from what I know.
I think we'll be in roughly an hour or so. It's definitely going to occur in about probably like an hour and 12 minutes, I would say.
Yes, it is an announcement, actually. Yeah, so we will see you there. Congratulations to GripWarrior once again for taking the map and advancing into the next round of winners. And that'll be all from me. My name is SunApple, and I was joined by... Yep.
Walmart 5193. So long, everyone.
Bye-bye.